let's get started.
Bricks and Business Podcast.
Bricks and Business Podcast. Welcome to episode 2 of Force Focus of the Bricks and Business Podcast. My name is Landon Ward.
I'm Seth Chomout.
This is Seth Chomout. We've been friends for a long time. We both have businesses, and we like to catch up a lot. And so we decided let's do it while we talk about our business stuff and building Lego sets at the same time, because I wanted to be able to write off Lego sets, which is hilarious because Seth bought like 6 the last time that we went out and got Lego sets.
Yeah, you ain't writing none of these off.
Yeah, I didn't.
These are
I didn't write
mine.
anything on this time. But today I have a surprise for Seth, and it might have been the extremely late hours that I was creating this that I thought it was fantastic, but I listened to it again in the car on the way here.
It's something to listen to. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I have like
Oh,
3 things to show you. I actually have like 6 things to show you.
that screen can see your screen, so just
Yes.
make sure
No,
you
it's-
don't have any of your weird
It's audio
switches.
only. Okay, I'm going to move my mic so that it can hear it.
I figured you'd just fix that in post. Now I can
will
say
fix
it.
it in-
Now
I
I
will
can
fix
say
it in
anything I
post.
want. Landon can't say shit.
I will fix it in post, but I'm going to. It's easier to sync if I do it this way.
If you want a kitten, ask Landon. Apparently.
Yes, take my kittens. All right. So first of all,
Oh man. Sounds like The Office when I remember to turn on the music.
Bricks and Business.
so for the live stream, that's our hold music. Okay,
hold music.
it gets so much better. That was like the worst one. All right,
Perfect. That's good because I'm excited. I was waiting.
you should be really excited.
It was like the BB. I was expecting like in the BBR podcast, like it's like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and then it says real quiet bricks and business.
Yeah.
And then it's like bricks and business. Okay. Let's see what happens.
See what happens. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Hey, listen in. With every brick we're building dreams. Stories shared in this Lego scene. Oh, bricks and business streams with ease. Tune it up, yeah, yeah. In this world of plastic use, mapping out our Lego roots. Bricks and business, the dream team's theme. We'll build it up, break it down. Laughter echoes, we found our sound. From the corner desk, our tales will stray. Ideas built and shared our way. Turn the pages of our enterprise. One brick, one tale beneath these skies.
I need every video, the whole thing. I want it to play the whole thing on every full.
So just like a sitcom, we need to film an intro that's like pure 80s sitcom, right?
This is great.
And we're just like the, Full House or whatever. They had an abbreviated version at the
Yeah.
beginning, and then they had the full version at the end. So that's
Yeah.
going to be, I think that should be our podcast music.
Yeah.
We should do a new intro.
I'm
and then-
yeah.
I have more.
Oh,
I do like the very end of this. Let me see if I can get to. That is so catchy.
Our friendship's voice, the sweetest sound.
I mean, my goodness.
So last year, Jason, my friend Jason, he recorded a single
Yeah.
and he posted it on the internet through the system. And I wonder if we can piggyback on his system and just have that posted on Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
like the way that he did it, because it was like submitted to like Apple Music and Spotify and everything, and there's like
interesting.
It was kind of like it was a good song.
Yeah,
it went on my I listened to it on a regular basis, but like it didn't take off or anything. But
right,
you know, it was a trial.
It was cathartic for him too. I remember him talking
really
about it. It's like it was something he felt like he needed to express.
We just needed people to listen to it.
All right, here's my favorite one.
Okay.
You're immediately going to know.
This is the song called Fix It in Post.
No.
Because
that's next. This is better.
Raise your voice, let out what's inside. In the rage cage, there's nothing to hide. Gloves on tight, it's time to ignite. Fueled by fire, adrenaline's flight. Gloves on tight, it's time to ignite. Fueled by fire, adrenaline's flight. The steel bar bends, reflections crack. In the rage cage, there's no turning back.
That's coming up.
Step right in, the session starts.
It's the fucking instructions.
Metal walls, broken hearts. Guitars wail, drums resound. In the rage cage, furies unbound. Release the beast inside. Where the thrash and crash collides. Your hammer swings, annihilates. In the rage cage. Release the beast inside. Where the thrash and crash collides. Your hammer swings, annihilates. In the rage cage. Break to liberate. Release
That.
Inside the rage cage, scream and roar. Liberate your spirit, settle the
I can't believe it made a guitar solo.
Okay. So what tools did you utilize?
Udio.
Udio?
UDIO.
That's it?
I did use Audacity a little bit in order to rearrange stuff. So Udio is AI music generation. If you're on TikTok and you see like these random, that's typically what they're using to make it. And so like it'll make a really cool part that's a chorus, but it's also just kind of gibberish sometimes. Not gibberish, but it like just makes line after line. Like you can, if you just heard the raw file, it's like, all right, there's an interlude. Okay, there's an interlude. Okay, there's an interlude.
Like, why are there all these breaks and stuff?
So I think there's a way to make.
Okay.
I think there's ways to do it like
and it
verse,
wrote
chorus,
the
verse,
song
chorus.
also?
It wrote it. No, at
So
the
that
very
wasn't like
end
a
of this,
chat?
at the very end, I wrote like the final 4 lines.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't use chat. It wrote it. And it did a great job with the lyrics.
That's awesome.
And then I do have
Oh, no.
BBR ones.
Oh, please. Should we save it for the BBR?
I didn't know if you wanted to hear it now or if you want to save it for the BBR podcast.
How many do you have for the BBR?
4?
Okay. Play 1 for the BBR, and then we'll play the others. You can
2
like
are good.
next Tuesday, you can like jump in
Yeah.
and do this in the middle of the
Okay.
BBR.
You want to hear one of them?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Please.
Yeah, it's the Big Black Richard Show. Where the tacos drop and the hot sauce flow. 3 dudes with tools talking shells and cheese. One's large, one's proud, and one's free to be. Yo, Big Black Richard, we the kings of crunch. Gonna give you that spicy talk, hit you with that punch. Reviewing every tortilla, bringing heat and fun. Fat, black, gay, we embrace it all, no shun. Throw your napkins in the sky, we bout to dine. Break that sauce and scale of 1 to divine. Tuesdays just to warm up. We go all week. Tortillas hand pressed, flavor at its peak. Crack this joke, drop a line with the cheese we pair. From the streets to gourmet, every taco we did.
We're done. Screw this podcast. We're making $1 billion on the BBR.
That was Fat, Black, and Gay. What's the best part?
That is, it's just straight up called it out.
Oh, I'm hot now. Oh my god. Okay. I had a
The
lot
AC
of fun
is
playing
on,
with that
right?
last night. Yeah, it's
Okay.
on full blast.
Yeah, ours is good, but that is great.
Well, I just picture commercials for the Rage Cage using that music and stuff. And
Yes.
yeah.
I feel like we should. Okay, so like at the beginning of laser tag, you know how they like play a video that's like,
Yeah.
this is how you play laser tag. I feel like. So there's a lot of production that goes into the good versions of those.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like you could have like there was the beginning of the chorus in that one on the Rage Room is like, it's like open the door, like step in or whatever. It's like, if you could just take like,
You could
here are
write
the-
lyrics.
You could write the instructions.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying you
As
could
a
like
song.
you could write the instructions. I'm guessing that you can say, make this better as a song.
You can adjust it. So
Okay.
do you want to know how like all of it works? Or,
Sure.
Okay. So you basically just type in it's a prompt and then you can add some like genres or styles or
Yeah.
anything like that. I forgot to show you. I made a Star Wars like overture
Nice.
that says Force Focused. It's like the coolest thing.
Oh,
in the world.
nice.
Yeah. So you start off with like a sample and then you can extend it backwards and forwards.
Okay.
Seemingly unlimitedly.
Yeah.
So, and then you can like, it gives you 2 versions every time you extend it so that you can pick your favorite. And then you can also like crop and extend from a certain point. It's like, there's a lot of control.
Wow.
You can also do lyrics. You can, like when you write your lyrics, you can add brackets and put like breakdown or intro or instrumental. Like there's a lot of control that they
So-
give you and it's free. It's 600 generations a month. And
Wow.
It's free.
So I would say you could probably create the prompt. We need instructions, but then
Yeah.
you may have to do what I do with. So like a lot of times I'll utilize chat to write a prompt for something for Midjourney. So like chat's
Right.
really good at writing, and Dolly's getting better, but Midjourney still will give you. What's good about Midjourney or like using those two in tandem is like I can say make this with Dolly and then make this with Midjourney.
Yeah.
And get 2 completely different things, which actually I was working on a logo last night about that. But
Nice.
I had a guy that he wants to open a salon one day. It's called the Duck Inn, and DUCK-IN. So you duck in. It's like supposed to be really like manly, kind of gentleman's salon, but like level, like what you. I don't know what the gentleman's salon really looks like on the inside besides your
Yeah.
videos, but like just what you would imagine gentleman's salon if it was from the 50s.
Gotcha.
So
Nice.
like that. And I did a logo for him while I was in Chicago. He emailed me one day and he said, hey, I need a logo. So what I typically do, what I used to do when I was designing logos is I would go onto Adobe Stock and just look and look and look and look and go, I like what that looks like.
Yeah.
And
No, I remember doing that for logos, like the discovery process,
Yeah.
the inspiration.
And so now I do the same thing, but instead of Adobe Stock, I use Midjourney and Dolly.
yeah.
And it works really, really well. And then I go in and make all the, like, we can take these concepts, marry them together, and make something that's our own.
Yeah.
So it's just like a fast forward through the figure it out process.
Exactly.
And so, I had somebody reach out to me last night based off of his recommendation.
Oh, nice.
So I started going through the discovery process before he approved everything. Like,
yeah.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
And
You
that
just
part is fun.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll just do it. But I haven't even looked at all the options yet. And so I was just in like generation mode.
Yeah.
But so that's a I don't know how I got down that path, but like that like having those things generated and then playing with them is
Well,
quite
I feel
enjoyable.
like a lot of especially artists really hate on AI because it's new and because it takes away a lot of steps
Yeah.
for them. But to me, AI like enables people who would never have the funds to hire an artist to make something cool.
Yeah.
And the people who do want art from a person are still going to hire those people. But it like for small businesses like me, I don't have the time to sit here and make a logo for a podcast real quick and like throw it up because they don't have an intro and outro screen. So I just toss one together. So like it enables so much more from especially solopreneurs and things like that. And like I have a design degree. I value design and it's a fine arts design degree of all things. Like I had to do printmaking, I had to do watercolors, all this stuff in order to get that degree. So like I value artistry a lot, but I see it just like Photoshop. Like if you're going to complain about AI as a tool, you should also complain that you have digital cameras instead of film, and then complain that there's cameras at all and that you're not sketching and painting things from scratch because cameras take the jobs of painters and then tractors take the jobs of laborers in the field. Like AI just enables more in the future. And I think at a certain point it will become, I mean, just my opinion.
There's another tool that everybody
It is another tool, but it will become a point where it's like, all right, like the things we need are provided for. Like, what do we do for work? And I think a lot of it's going to be creative. A lot of it's going to be, but I think at a certain point, it's going to get a little Star Trek-y and like we'll just get UBI and universal basic income
super for
across the board.
Yeah.
And then like we're beyond the capitalist dream, which is, trade your time for money. And it becomes just humans being humans. I think that's a positive. I don't think that's a negative at all.
And so like as you're an artist on that side, and the same way that like as you're playing that music, I'm just thinking of like what would Brian or Chad, like Brian Eichelberger, Chad from King's Kaleidoscope, like what would those guys that are like sitting
Gardner.
Gardner, sitting in the room like making this stuff.
Yeah.
What did they think of that? And what I would go down to is like, we wouldn't have that
No.
if that couldn't happen.
At all.
Right. It's like,
It'd be like
we couldn't afford that.
I couldn't make anything like on my own that good if I spent 2 months day and night working on it.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the skills, I don't have the access to the instruments to any, like I did like 7 or 8 songs in a couple hours last night.
Yeah.
And they're all great. And I do think like that can be an idea generation tool or it can be the final product. For us, for certain things, it'll be the final product because we're just like, when we're billionaires, sure, we'll like have an on-call musician who can just like make stuff for us.
Yeah.
But that's not reality for most of America.
I mean, I have 4 Roombas in my house.
You
5.
have what?
I have 4 Roombas in my house.
Yeah.
5 if you count the one that mops. So like, I'm not making my wife is not in the house barefoot and pregnant with a broom in her hand.
Exactly.
Like we have progressed past that. And you know what? She's still valuable.
Exactly.
I own a dishwasher. My
don't
wife
think-
is still valuable.
I think when you tie your value into the things you do and not who you are, that's where the breakdown happens. I think a lot of artists tie the value in the work that they do, like their personal self value in the work that they do. So they feel like AI hinders their value. And a lot of them do just say like, oh, this will cut into my client base because I don't charge a lot and blah, blah, blah. They can just go to Midjourney and make that. Like, it will. But if you also learn how to use those tools, maybe if you're creative enough, which, I mean, we're all creatives in a certain aspect. Like I told you, and I don't think you believed me for a long time, that business is creative. Finding solutions to things, finding ways to monetize things, especially in an ethical manner. Like, that's where it gets the most creative, in my opinion.
I mean, do you? I can't even say it with a straight face. Do you think that? I mean, think about like we went from like farming and stuff to AI generating music, right?
Right.
Do you think when Martin Luther King freed the slaves that? See, I can't even finish it because I thought that was so funny. Do you think when Martin Luther King freed the slaves, he thought about AI? No. And also, I know he didn't free the slaves.
What is that?
No.
I'm so confused as to where your brain went.
I'm just saying, big black Richard. But like, I'm saying everything iterates.
Yes.
Everything changes. And so if everything changes and now suddenly artists have to change, but think about how many iterations art has been through. And
crazy.
it's there's still painters and sculptors and
Yes.
artists.
It's still valuable. Well, and that's a lot of the reason why, like when the camera came to be, when the camera was invented, that's when a lot of abstraction came to be as well, because then painting became less of like, I'm painting a historical portrait for this family. I'm painting this scene for history. They were like, oh, painting's an art and not as much, a documentation form because cameras were invented. So I think things will just continue to progress. Things will continue to be made. Just like, I don't know, there's people making video games, making films just in their spare time now. Whereas before it would take full studios. I think it enables creativity.
Yeah.
And like, it's going to hurt, at a certain point for certain people, but that's where innovation comes to play. Like it just like when it comes to truckers, like at a certain point, they're going to be replaced by automated trucks. Like you have to like see that future and prepare for it. And it's not kind, but the world doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like the world's going to continue to progress regardless of if it hurts like a certain amount of people, unfortunately.
Yeah. Speaking of iterations, one of my things that I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
So there's this thing we started doing. So I started the Whiskey Collective a couple years ago, and I see the Whiskey Collective as a playground. Like try things out, see what happens, see what reactions are, see how the thing works, and et cetera, et cetera. And one of the things that I gleaned from the Whiskey Collective was this idea for, and I mean, really it's an old idea, but like a dinner club for Peasant Village. And so we started this thing called Pops on Park. And we like are trying it. It's a dinner club. It's, I think, a special thing. I think that it's pretty great. And then I also, I think that everyone that has joined knows that we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Like, and so, kind of, one thing that I've struggled with Jason in the past, the owner of Peasant Village, is like, he wants to try stuff, but if it doesn't work really fast, he'll kill it off.
Yeah.
And so I kind of had in my head, I wanted to have 30 people in this group.
Yeah.
He had in his head 12. Easier for me.
Right.
But we have 6 right now. So we have 6 in the group. 7 if you include me. I don't because I don't pay. Yeah. But so we're halfway there in less than 6 months. And in fact, we got halfway there really, really fast, and then kind of like it.
Well, you kind of shopped the idea around a little bit, right?
Pitch, right?
Yeah,
it's an interesting pitch, and so what I'm looking at now is like, okay, I got some people signed up, and then we made a couple adjustments. It's better than when we signed up, but there's some restrictions. So Jason kind of came to me and he's like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. And I'm like, I need you to let me keep doing it. And here's why. And so what I did was I wrote out what I'm calling Pops on Park Season 2. So starting in July. My pitch is, I was like, let's make some adjustments and let me adjust some of the things. And ultimately, what I told him, I gave him 3 adjustments that I want to make. 1, I want to adjust the price. So right now, if you go to the Peasant Village and you order a cocktail, what I coined peasant libations, they're $4 and $5 cocktails. They're the simple ones. They're the Jack and Cokes and the gin and tonics. And the really simple ones, because most of his cocktails were $10 or $12. So now we have $4 and $5. And I was like, what can we call cheap drinks without saying cheap drinks?
Right.
And I was like, peasant libations. Peasant.
There
You know, and play off the name, right? So peasant libations. And so I said, if you come in right now and you buy half an appetizer, a salad, an entree, a peasant libation, a regular cocktail, and a glass of wine, all the most expensive ones across the board of all of that, plus a dessert. If you do all of that, it is cheaper than the $100 that I'm suggesting it be. So right now it's $120 a month to be in this club. Gets you some discounts, gets you some access. It gets you, like, it is more than just a meal.
Right.
But I said, well, if the most I walk in and spend, I think it was like $84 per person if you do it the way I just said. Well, if that's what you're doing and we're charging $100 a person, you're making profit.
Right.
Whether this club meets or not, you're making profit. And it's recurring revenue. Also, if you miss, you do not get a refund. You get a $50 gift card to Peasant Village. So you get half your money back.
Which do you? Because you're still spending it at Peasant Village.
You still have to come, or you can go to PV Deli. But
sure, but you're still spending money.
It. We're not actually giving the money back.
Yeah.
And so you have that idea. So first of all, it's $120 right now. I think it should be $100. A little bit cheaper, a little bit more attainable. And if there's, if there is some reason to go above and beyond that, like, we adjust it later. So price. Then we have menu. So when I pitched it, the pitch was, I want you to get creative and make something that you're excited about doing. Not that that's not a thing for him, but it's kind of not a thing for him, is what I'm finding. So we're like, this thing that we're doing right now is fun for us.
Yeah.
If it ever becomes a job, like it did for
a couple
6 weeks or something, we stopped. Right.
Yeah.
So if it becomes a job and not fun anymore, then you got to adjust.
Yeah.
So my suggestion to him is, don't worry about the special thing. Make this a sampler situation. So sample a couple appetizers for them. Do a salad. Sample a couple of the newest entrees, because he changes his menu regularly. So let's get those things in front of these people that are raving fans already. So we do all that.
It's like workshopping it.
So instead of like last night was lobster, which is great. But also you had to order lobster and you had to worry about it.
Yeah.
Stick on your menu, maybe make some special adjustments. You know, this item usually doesn't have truffle oil and mushrooms on top. Add that.
Yeah.
I suggested on the salads, like a salad is a salad, but maybe you have a couple spare extra special ingredients. Just use them. You've already prepped them for the dinner.
Yeah.
Don't go over and above. Then if you want to get creative, you can throw it in there too.
Yeah.
But like the expectation will be we're sampling current menu items. And sampling isn't the right word, but it is. It's more like we're having a whole meal, but we get to taste all the different things. So, so that's number 2. So price, menu, and then number 3 was, what was number 3? Oh, membership. So right now we sell a membership. You get your membership. You come and use it or you don't. If you don't, you get half your money in a gift card. You cannot transfer it.
Yeah.
He wanted to do that. He wanted to make it special for people. And I agree that is special. However, I think we need to get a little bit we were a little ahead of ourselves on that. I think what we needed to do was say, let's just start this club. And then if we want to turn on an upgrade, here's an upgrade. Here's how this upgrade works. And the upgrade will be very restricted to 5 people that know where I live, kind of like thing, right? It's
Like a chef's table, like extremely exclusive.
extremely
Yeah.
exclusive. And it's just an add-on to your
Yeah.
Pops thing. And that kind of gives you a way to like separate and vet people for. And so, and it would be like, maybe even just like an invitation only. You cannot sign up for it.
Yeah.
But like, we want to invite you now to do this. And that kind of creates this like situation in which I can sell the crap out of it, I think. Because what I do then, so use me as an example. San Angelo Studios gets 2 seats at Pops Sun Park. Well, what I can do then is say, Landon, it's your anniversary coming up. Why don't you guys take my Pops on Park spot? The San Angelo Studios Pops on Park spot.
Yeah.
But I think that other places will do it. Scott Creasy from First Financial Bank.
Yeah.
He's our business banker. He bought a, oh, dang it. I put the sticker on backwards, Landon.
Oh, that's the worst.
So
It's hard to flip those around.
Scott though, he bought somebody as a thank you. He bought them 3 months of the Whiskey Collective, right?
Oh, that's cool.
So take that idea, take it to the extreme. Scott buys 2 seats at Pops on Park. And then whenever one of his staff members does something amazing or, you know, what, like something cool happens or whatever, he can then gift those 2 seats to one of his loan officers or whatever, right? So it's like more of a sponsored kind of thing. The seats are sponsored. So, and then let's add to that, realtors. A realtor buys this spot, 2 spots. And anytime they sell it, when they buy or sell a house,
Especially over a certain commission.
and
or
they
like
can make
in a
that
certain
decision on their
neighborhood.
own, right?
Yeah.
But like, hey, I have this spot at this thing. Why don't you
Yeah.
go check it out? So I think it serves 2 purposes. One, we have just season tickets, right? It's tickets.
Season tickets.
But 2, it will then allow, like, how many times have you eaten at Peasant Village for dinner?
Never.
Okay. And it probably stays like that.
Yeah.
For most people.
But it introduces you to it.
But like now, Scott introduced you to the Peasant Village and it was paid for already. So now you didn't even pay for it. You went in, tried it, loved the experience, all that stuff. What are you going to do? Go back. Like, you're going to remember this and go back. And so I think just looking at it from those angles,
Yeah, I mean,
makes a good change.
I think so too. I think that's brand versus sales, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's saying, hey, like, we're willing to do some unique things to give exposure to like groups of people that are outside of like our normal base, and we're building, a reputation with them based on X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I think when you can have that long-term view on it, and like that's so low stakes.
Well, and
honestly, it is,
and it's not even low
not even
stakes.
a loss.
It's not even a loss, because you know what I could do today? Start a dinner club, charge $100 a person. Say we go to the Peasant Village and we have dinner. You have a limit of $85 on the menu.
Yeah.
Or hey, I have a dinner club. It's $100. Join it. We're going to go to different restaurants around town.
Yeah.
And it's going to be taken care of. You're going to walk in. It's going to be a surprise every time.
Yeah.
So then I walk in to each restaurant and say, hey, Jason, I'm having a dinner thing. These are the items that we're going to order. I know it's $85 total. I'll cover the ticket.
Yeah.
So now somebody pays me $100. I go in, $85. I've arranged everything. So you get a cocktail, a glass of wine. That's it. You get this steak, you get this salad, you get this done, right?
Yeah.
If anybody walked into a restaurateur and said, that's what I want to do, they would go, yeah, it's just make a reservation.
Exactly.
Tell the waitress when you get here what the orders are. Cool. So like,
Done.
I think that
It's just taking that
the
in-house.
shift. That's the shift that Jason has to like mentally say is like, this is
These are
just
just
a different reservation. Because literally, if he said, no, I don't want to do that.
Like, okay. And then, like,
so I'm just
start
going to
making
make a reservation
reservations.
and like just change the change it to
name.
me. I get
then you
credit.
own the
I get
brand.
credit
Yeah.
at Peasant Village every month. So just use that credit to do it, and then boom, boom, boom. Like I mean, it's so
That
it's
dinner club could be kind of cool if
Yeah.
you just like said, hey, we do a rotation. We're going to go to Urban Salt. We're going to go to like all kinds of places. And then one month you like rent out all of McDonald's or something.
oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Just be like, hey, order whatever you want.
Well, and so
You have to give people
I mean,
heads up on that one.
you have that, right? Like you have those kinds of ideas. Like we were talking with the young. I threw a wrench in the young professionals situation yesterday. So I'm on the young professionals board, and for the last 3 months, I think we've been talking about starting a lunch opportunity. So like we have these happy hours, and they're great. Tonight actually is one of them. And we go to those, but some people, young professionals, what do they have? Kids, commitments, stuff to fix at their house. Like there's so many things that young professionals are dealing with.
I would literally go if I didn't have to watch my kids.
Yeah.
Like my wife works at night. So
We're giving an opportunity for people to come to a lunch. And so we've been talking about this and planning it, and it just hit me. And I was like, I really am sorry for suggesting this so late in the game here. But there are all these other organizations that have luncheons once a month. Kiwanis, Rotary, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And they get together. Every single one of them is looking for young people to join. Okay? So what if instead of us hosting our own meal
Just crash
every
their
week,
party.
we just go and do it with them? On top of that, now, if we're with if the right groups agree, now it's free, because every Rotarian wants to have a young professional sit across from them and influence them. So my friend Ed Yale, he invited me to Rotary. I went to Rotary. You know what he did on the first time I went to Rotary? Paid for my lunch. So what I suggested to Rotary, and I had a phone call with them. They're having a board meeting this week about it. But I said, what if on top of all of this, you guys, like the Rotarians, I only know that word because I went to a meeting, but the Rotarians, one of them, like each Rotarian sponsors a young professional.
Yeah.
And then that you come in, sit down, you get to sit with that person, conversation, blah, 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 but they take care of your lunch. So not only is it a great opportunity to network, not only is it a great opportunity to experience a organization that you hadn't yet, but now it's also like free.
Yeah.
So let's like add to that. And I said, you know, it doesn't, I don't think we have to not do luncheons at all. But I think if we had a annual rotation through these other organizations,
yeah.
like we could easily like introduce young professionals to these groups. The young professionals can go as a group, then they split up as a organization, and like we have quarterly lunches for us, and then all the other lunches are with these organizations. And the lady on the Rotary lady I talked to, she was like, this is a really good idea. And I was like, I know, I can't help myself. But I felt bad because we had been talking about this for months already.
Yeah.
And like it finally clicked. I was like, because
Dude, when a good idea comes up, you just roll with it.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do?
Something I hate really is how many organizations don't care when other things are happening. So like there were 2 golf tournaments on Monday.
Yeah.
In San Angelo
2 different golf tournaments?
for 2 different valid causes. And it's like, if you guys would have just scheduled these like opposite
Yeah.
days, you would have had more people
Right.
at both of them. And so I think a lot of organizations don't consider what other events are going on, right? The 20 under 40 is always on the last Thursday of November, I think. Or no, October, I think. Same day that the Whiskey Collective is. Couldn't believe it. I was like, we are chamber members. Why are you booking a thing on the same day as Whiskey Collective? And they're like, this has been this way for 20 years. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
But then there was something else that came up that was similar. And I was like, nope, I was here first. You guys got to cut this out. They didn't, but who am I?
Yeah.
But like, there's always just like, it's like, there's enough events that if you put an event on every day, this calendar would be full for San Angelo. But people double book days, triple book days. And then it's like, well, I know that people have different interests and stuff, but it's also just nice to have.
It's also nice to not feel like there's any kind of competition.
Yeah.
There's enough days in the year.
I don't have to miss something.
Yeah.
Whatever. So.
I mean, I agree.
Okay. So.
How you doing over there?
There was that.
You've done like 7 bricks. Oh, no, you got a wing.
No, I did a whole wing.
There
buddy.
you go. I'm proud of you.
So I think that's what at least for a time, that's what we're going to explore.
I think that's great. I think the dinner club idea is cool. I think the young professionals what? So I don't even know, what is a Rotary Club? There's so many organizations, and I feel like you could just do a breakdown video of like, this is what all these organizations are. So tell me at least what that is.
It's a service organization. They get together, they donate a little money, they get together. It's kind of brotherhoody. Like, I mean, there's women, so it's not just men, but like there's women, men. I mean, at the worst, you look at it and go, that's a fraternity.
Right.
Right. Like this is just a Greek organization that you pay dues and have friends.
Right.
At the worst. But I mean, they have like some pretty excellent like commitments to things. They have a motto that like is supposed to instill into their like life, like throughout life. It's not religious, but they do.
It's just a set of values that they
set of values, and it's really like I think they gave me a coin that says what it is, but it's like 4 questions that you ask in any situation. Is it right? Is it helpful? Does it hurt anyone else? And does it honor God or something like something like that?
Yeah.
If I got that right, that would be awesome. But like, I'm just going to start going to Rotary and not paying. Just like be like, hey, I'm a new member and I'm going to pay for free because I memorized the thing before you even told me to. Wow, that is something wrong here.
I had a moment like that earlier. It's like, what am I doing? Oh, nice.
Let's go this
I love when you get like, what am I building right now?
Yeah.
And then it just like perfectly slots in
Oh, weird. Why is it different?
in a really cool way. This is why I like Lego so much. We did a Temu set and it was ass.
Yeah.
It was so bad. And we didn't even finish it. We like gave up on it.
I'll pay you to not ever have to do that again.
We're not doing that.
Okay, that's weird, right? Okay, look, this side has these this way, and this side has these this way. I'm sure there's some Star Wars reason for it, but this piece is different. It's almost like my ship is broken before it even gets
it's
off.
not mirrored.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. It seems like you would just automatically assume it. Well, look, is it?
No.
Is the illustration off?
See how that isn't over here and that is off from here. So I think it's
No, it's not. It's mirrored.
No, it's not.
Oh, the yellow and the gray pieces?
The yellow and gray, but also
Yeah,
where these 2 pieces are, those 2 are mirrored, but these 2 aren't.
I mean, your ship is definitely
These
worse for wear. Like you have
already have the broken things.
You have torn stuff. That's one. So between Star Wars and Star Trek is nice and shiny and everything looks perfect. But like Star Wars has like, look at the Millennium Falcon. Mm-hmm. It's like broken pieces. Panels are missing. Like it's scuffed up and people like rag it.
The people in the rebellion are broke.
Yes. But also it's like, it's a lived in world versus Star Trek, which is like nice and shiny, you know, and it feels more grounded in my opinion. Not that I care between Star Trek and Star Wars.
I do. I care.
You care a lot.
Star Wars, all the way.
I never really watched. I keep getting a phone call.
Oh, I don't have my phone, so it's not from Laura, is it?
No. Okay. Crystal Wilkinson.
I knew a Crystal Wilkinson in high school.
Just gonna answer.
That's weird.
Hello.
I bet it's a scam call. I hope it's a scam call.
Perfect. Thank you.
Was it a scam call?
No, our AC is leaking.
Ugh.
And the AC tech is on the way. That's why she called me a couple times to let me know. I'm going to text Lauren.
So, yes. My stepmom, Star Trek.
Yeah.
She has like a framed thing with all the Star Trek badges.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if she still has it. I assume she does. That doesn't seem like something you'd get rid of.
Just store.
So, the kind of 3 other things. One, we built that thing in the basement. So we literally, the lights worked. I bought the lights.
Yeah, they worked.
Even if I bought I bought the 1 light and the 2 light.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 options and they're.
One has like 2 tubes and one has 1 tube.
And they both work very well. I put the 2 down there simply because it was way brighter.
Yeah.
But if somebody was like, this is too bright for me, because it's possible that it's too bright for them.
I feel like I would put a lamp
out.
down there and like have more ambient lighting probably.
Well, that's
me.
what. So I'm trying to provide the least viable product.
Right.
And then you can do whatever you want with that shell.
Exactly.
So I also ran an extension cord into the room.
So explain what it is, because I think people would be curious.
Yeah. So I have this basement here in this building, and it's unusable. I mean, so not unusable. It is usable. Just have to be creative with whatever you do. Mm-hmm. A church used to meet down there. It was great. They've cleaned it up. It's prettier, but still a basement. A dank ass basement.
It's dank.
And so
Muggy.
the kind of the idea was to build stuff in San Angelo in a commercial building. In most places, you have to file a permit and do all this stuff. Well, when I lived in Seattle, I worked for a mega church, and we figured out that Connex boxes don't count as rooms.
What's a Connex box?
A Connex box is what you see getting shipped on a train.
Oh, okay. Like a shipping
big
container.
shipping container. So these things are so the city of Seattle considers Connex boxes in a warehouse not floor space, not office space. We happened to convert the Connex boxes. We cut like big holes in the sides of them and made them offices, but they didn't count on our legal requirement of what office space is.
Well, and they're freestanding. Like you can pick them up and move them, right?
You can move
but
them.
they're big and heavy and
I mean,
sturdy.
we had to have machines move them, but
They're probably this. Like if there was a tornado, I would go in one of those.
yeah, you would want to go in there. Yeah.
Outside of everything in that building, I would go in one of those boxes.
So-
They're sturdy.
Taking that concept without asking any questions, a garden shed
There you go.
is furniture. Taking that same concept, I can move it. I physically can move it. Okay? Like pushing it myself. Just Seth. And so I was like, well, let's just, if we put a garden shed in the basement, somebody could use it as a storage space or a workspace or whatever.
Yep.
We do workspace here. So my thought was, if someone ever came to me and said, hey, well, actually, someone came to me and said, I need an office. And I said, what's it for? Because I'm out of offices. And I said, I like to get creative. And he told me what it was for. And I was like, I have an idea. So a couple days later, I texted him with my idea. And I said, hey, would this work for you? And he said, yes. The idea was put a garden shed in the basement, run power to it, put a light on it. And that can be lockable. You can store your stuff in there. It'll be safe. It's air conditioned. And he said, let's do it. So I built a garden shed in the basement. Landon helped, Keen helped, Watson helped, and Ty helped. Shout out Ty. He works at the bowling alley.
Nice.
And
Just a random. How do you know
random
Ty?
friend.
Random friend.
Keen used to work at the bowling alley, and so that's one of Keen's best friends. If I'm not Keen's best friend, Ty is Keen's best friend.
This is wrong.
Okay.
I'm so confused. I'm
Back
sorry
up.
to derail you here, but like,
Time to back up.
no, like just it's. It doesn't make sense because I have like, you see this gap here? That's what I built, right? There's that gap there.
Yes.
And then that carries over there. This is exactly what this is.
Let me see.
And then it says rotate it. And there's like a black piece in the middle of it.
Put that like that. This is new.
That goes there.
Okay. This is that.
And then you slide on that other piece.
Slides on. That's that piece.
Right?
And then that's that piece. You did that there.
And it says rotate.
Now rotate around.
And make it look like that.
That piece is different.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not crazy.
Oh wait, no.
There's a whole nother brick in there that, like, where does that black brick come from? Yeah. Lego.
Oh no.
dare you.
Look.
Is it this? Did I miss something?
Yes.
Oh, it's saying to add a piece.
Yeah, that goes there. That goes there.
Cool. I just didn't finish the step.
And that goes there.
That's what I get for
Glad to be able to help.
trying to be an attentive listener and build something at the same time. Thank you for your assistance.
Okay, yeah. So we have
So
this.
you built it in the basement.
So we built it in the basement, and it's great. And Landon suggested some lights, and they're great. And so the one would work for like if you were just like, this is too bright, I could be like, well, here's lighter. If not, if this one works, it's great. And all things added up, I'll get an ROI on month 3.
Nice. Just
And
based on the
so-
cost of putting that
based on
together.
the cost, but like, so I think that's good. I think my goal in the future will be make ROI on month 4 and pay somebody to put that thing together
Yeah.
because it took 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like between me and you working on it, Keen and all of us working on it, total, we were there down there with cleaning up the basement 4 hours. So
I'm sure
it'll
the
take
cleanup
3
took a
hours.
long time too.
So it would be easy for me to pay 2 dudes $50 to build these things. 2 dudes, $50 each to do that. And then I don't have to do it. Or ask any of my friends to help me. But now that we figured that out, I think that'll be really good.
That's cool. I think that's what I mean. But like, I feel like my brain just turned off. Goodness. I like how creative you are with finding solutions to things. You're like, let's just put a garden shed in the basement, and you're willing to try it. I think that's sick.
Yeah. And on this one, like just like the Peasant Village thing,
Yeah.
the Pops on Park, no cost. I mean, ROI on 3rd month, but like this guy's already committed
Yeah.
to like a year. So, I mean, it sounded like he will set this up and never not do it.
Yeah.
So,
At least utilize it consistently.
and what's good is he's military. Thank you for your service. And he wants to hire someone here in San Angelo to handle this operation once he gets it all set up. And then once he does that, he's actually moving in the middle of June. So it'll be set up and just set up.
Really.
And like he will, trying to get Lara to do it, the job that he wants done, which is really just fulfillment.
Oh, gotcha.
And so and we'll bring that product on. I'll bring it on here so that we can tell people about it once I have the permission to do so. Mm-hmm. But I think that'll be good and easy. And then the plan is once I have this one up, I'm going to put some turf down there and then take some good pictures. Maybe you can take some good pictures.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is we'll pitch that and just say, yeah, I mean, I can have it set up in a week, like, and we'll just add more and more garden sheds until it's a little community down there. I think we can
that's
fit
cool.
like 10 or 12 easy.
Down there?
And then I think if we backed them up to each other and made it more like a storage unit place that's like just hallways, and I think we could put way more. But my plan is 10 or 12 and kind of see what that looks like before we do anything moving forward.
Yeah. I think that's sick.
So
I feel like as a creative person, I consider myself a creative person. that it would be.
You have a degree in creative.
I have a creative degree. I feel like that would be kind of it's more unique. And so that kind of piques my interest.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, I get my own little shed. I can control my light down here, but I can also like see.
Yeah. It's just in the way all the
It
time.
really is. It's going to be right in your eye line, though, up there. I kind of wonder if we should if these mics weren't so much better, I would just use
Yeah.
lamps.
No, this is good.
I feel like we need just like shotgun mics from the ceiling.
Ooh. Get choir mics.
Basically. What was I saying? Yeah, it's just cool. I think it looks cool.
So I think it'll be good. It'll be good. We'll see. If it works for this one guy and that's it, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't lose anything on it.
Experimentation.
Okay, so there's that. And then, so I had 2 email conversations that I want to tell you about. One is, so it's Peasant Village related, but it's Jason. He regularly has pharmaceutical reps reach out to because they're pitching stuff to doctors in San Angelo, whatever. I don't know how all that works. It's a lot of hush hush on it, but I can talk about that part.
Yeah.
So if you are a pharmaceutical rep and you need a restaurant to do it, we have a room for that.
Oh, nice.
And it's all set up. The tech's set up. It's private. It's so it works. And so I would get these sheets, and they're freaking pharmaceutical rep scheduler people. They ask these same questions over and over again, but in a different format every time. So I would have to fill out these forms every single time, probably 2 or 3 a month. Just fill out these different forms. So finally what I did was I just said, let me just take all these forms that you've sent me and all their questions, and I'll put a 1-pager together and answer all the questions.
There you go.
So all I have to do is send you the 1-pager. And
oh God, I keep skipping stuff.
probably
It's driving me
4 or
crazy.
5 different vendors so far, and I just did it a couple months ago. 4 or 5 vendors have sent me the questionnaire. They say the question is, do you have a room available for this day? And can you fill out this questionnaire? And I'm now what I do is I respond, yes, we have that available. I put them on the books, and here's most of the, or here's our pharmaceutical reservation sheet
information.
Yeah. I send them that, and then I say, if you have any other questions, let me know. So yesterday, I had one reach out. Hey, we need this information. Can you fill this out? And I said, yeah, sure, no problem. Well, I thought, yeah, sure, no problem. I responded with the sheet, and yes, we have that day reserved for you.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And her response to me was, well, would you mind filling this out? And I said, absolutely, but it won't be until Thursday or Friday when I can sit down and do that. But here's this sheet. I sent the sheet a second time. I go, here's the sheet with all that information. And she emailed back really quick. She said, that's fine. I'll wait until Friday and when you fill that out. And I said, cool, whatever. I get paid to do that. I get paid to correspond. This morning I got an email from her. Your info sheet answered all the questions. And I was like, yeah, I know it did. Because I made it for
so many
you.
times. Yeah.
I made it for you people. And so she was like, don't worry about filling that. I was like, I know. Thank you. So that was kind of actually intentional. I thought.
Time delay is a bigger pain
Yeah.
than actually reading the form
Yeah.
that you sent. Yeah.
So boom, boom, boom. I got that done. So so that's handled. That situation's handled. There was something else while that was happening. The email time delay. I did this to somebody else, and I was like,
yeah, I can do that sometime.
yeah, and then they just figured it out themselves. But the other thing was that I think you'll think is funny. So Dan Garrison, he's Garrison Brothers Distillery, and we ran into him. You filmed him saying, "I'll come."
Yeah.
I need to find that clip.
Yeah.
But
It's on YouTube.
Perfect. He said, I'll come. And I said, great. See you then. And so I was emailing. So the next day, his assistant emails me. When and where does he need to be? I was like, cool. Here you go. So I emailed his assistant, Hope, 2 days ago, because last month we had a little bit of a hiccup with our tasting, and I just want to get way ahead of any hiccups. I just don't want to be stressed out again.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, Hope, do we have time to call Thursday or Friday? So I'm clicking through my emails this morning, and I don't know how you look at emails, but I don't really look at the subject line or who it's from. I just read the email.
Yeah.
If the email is like a quick, most of it's spam
Right.
emails anyway. So I read the email, and it says, hey, Seth, Hope is on PTO. I'm handling this. Do you have time on Friday? And I'm like, my first response is just go up, hit reply. Yes, all available all day. And I mean, that's all a second, right? Like that whole process was no more than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I look who it's from, and it's Dan Garrison. And I'm like, this guy has to be a funny guy. Like he has to enjoy some humor. And so my response to him was, I guess, I guess you're the second best option. But let me know when you're free on Friday. Like, I'm flexible. So I'm hoping he read that and thought, funny guy.
Yeah.
Not, fuck that guy. I'm not doing shit with him.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously it was just to me, like I thought
Like
that
you
would
didn't
be-
even see who sent it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I
Good.
mean, I thought that was great.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to say, I have a lunch meeting today
yes, me too.
at Twisted Root with a church. Or I'm catching up with some old friends, but they also said they were kind of interested and possibly having me do some content for them. But I was curious because you had a whole system for like sermon creates, questionnaire creates blog posts kind of thing.
Yes.
I was going to pitch that to them as well, and then maybe some graphics or something like that. I don't think you necessarily want to do like, hey, upcoming is this event, and like do that kind of content. I think it wants to be more automated, right?
Yes.
More like awareness stuff, less informational.
Yeah. Like things that you can schedule a month in advance are
Yeah.
great, but things that you have to have knowledge,
Yeah.
like that's just more expensive.
Yeah.
So like my affordable package is really for companies that kind of you don't need to know that. You need to know
Right.
what they do, but like you don't need to know
What their
overwhelming,
calendar looks like. Yeah. Cool.
And so but I can, it literally takes 5 minutes to do that.
Yeah.
I'll send you one with this week's sermon.
Yeah. I don't know if they have theirs live like on YouTube or anything.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't even know if they record it or not. They're a smaller church.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, I don't really know that much about their church. I guess they could be a little bit bigger
Well, we can look. And
Yeah.
if it is, I can put that together.
and just be like, oh, by the way, we can do this every week.
Yeah.
So I would like to get kind of that price package
Okay.
from you at some point before I go over there.
Yes.
Matt does want to record a podcast at 12, he said.
Cool.
He was wanting a quick turnaround.
Are you telling
so
me to hurry up?
I'm just letting you know. Yeah, you need to hurry. I think I'm out of brain power.
Well, yeah, I talked about all the things I had notes for.
Yeah,
Look at me.
Mine was theme songs, and which that was my favorite thing to do last night.
Yes.
And I do want to set up so one thing I'm working on is a podcast setup that automatically switches cameras. So I don't have to do that in post. It does it live, which is great for live streaming, but it's also great for just having your podcast done when you stop recording, which would be fantastic. So I'm going to be working on that in the next couple weeks.
Fix it in post.
I know that's the next song that I need to make. But
Can it
that
just be
will
a
then-
jingle? Can we have like a 6-button jingle situation?
Where you just hit about, yeah.
I want that.
That's they have those for live streamers specifically. You could probably just use a keyboard and have it as a hotkey, to be honest, or like a number pad and assign
Yeah.
those as hotkeys.
Yeah.
But they do make a little stream box that you can like customize icons, or it has buttons that you can customize.
Okay, so I need for the BBR here. Will you just write this down while I keep doing this? But
Yeah.
so you could even just write it up here.
Up here
But
by
I
BBR.
need one that says, "Look at Richard." Okay. Right.
You need a jingle.
I need a jingle that says "Look at Richard," because a lot of times they say that, because I'll have conversations with Keen and forgot to look at Richard, so I want Richard to be able to push a button that says.
It should just
"Look
be
at
the
Richard."
Zelda, like, hey, listen.
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah.
but like specifically for BBR. For here, we need a fix it and post button for sure, right? Let's see. I thought I was going to be more creative than this. In my head.
I think you need a soundbite for like. Do you guys actually rate the tacos? Like, do you give it a scale, like a rating, or
1
do you
to
just
5
eat 'em?
tacos sometimes.
1 to 5.
Yeah.
So I think
So-
you need some kind of like sound for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5
Yeah.
potentially, or just like it's rating time.
Rate the tacos.
Yeah. Rate it, bitch.
We could have a
Yeah.
thing for that.
Which we don't. We've
We
gotten
haven't
better
got-
at podcasting, so we don't really need.
those as many times. But I think we still should have that. What else? There's got to be something else.
I think we've done some of these.
Tyler, pay attention.
Yeah, Tyler just sits on her phone. It's funny. I made her start wearing headphones because
Yeah.
she would just like set her phone down right next to the
Oh, great,
right
yeah.
next to the mic all the time, and it would
now-
switch over to her.
Now she has to hear it. Doing
So now
that.
she would like hear herself set her phone down super loud.
Nice.
I always think that's funny. Like if anybody adjusts like their mic,
I feel like
it's so
it's
loud.
taco time. Like that would be good.
All right, we got some ideas.
I mean, like, I think we need to have those things at some point in the future. Who knows?
I can send you a link to the. I think it's by Elgato. They're like Stream Deck.
Yeah.
You can just like have buttons.
Yeah.
Which for people, if they were doing podcasting and want to do that kind of stuff, I think it would be handy. I also think that because like eventually we may want to do a. Oh, I forgot the top down camera the entire fucking time.
Oh man,
Such a bummer. I knew I forgot something.
fired.
Whoops. Oh well.
Well,
What was I saying?
Sorry.
Yeah, just undo it. I do want to have a time lapse. Anyway, my brain's all over the place. Yeah, I lost my train of thought.
the
done.
Elgato thing.
I think that could be handy if we have like a presentation camera of some sort where like, you know, how we had the hand cam where we would like hold stuff up
Yes.
to have a button to press to switch to it for
yes.
like 10 seconds and then like go off. So like there's ways to do that in OBS.
Oh, cool.
But that whole automated system is going to be built in OBS. It's just a matter of sitting down and like getting all the different pieces to work together. That's also a big pro to doing like specifically in studio stuff because like you click a button and you're ready to go.
Yes. I love it.
I will probably want a third camera for that
Just
as
gonna
well.
have all the cameras.
Well, if we could possibly use the Mevos, which that is not 4K. The Mevo camera you gave me.
It doesn't output 4K. It's the camera is 4K, but it only outputs regular. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we would need 4K for vertical content.
Makes sense.
Even that Insta360 is like 2.7K, and it's a little rough when you punch in.
Good to know. I can finish this next time.
Yeah, I think we'll have to wrap up and move some of this stuff out.
Okay, so I think I don't know. I got a good compliment from my students this week.
Yeah.
They said, this lady goes, she was like, I have something to say. And I was like, oh. And she said, you've improved so much this semester. And I said, thank you. And then, but she didn't stop there. She said, she started wanting to revamp like at the very beginning. She's like, you started so arrogant. And I was like, yes, I did. And then everybody at the table, because we were like long table, I'm at the head of it, and long table, and everybody in between us is just like started to like chitter chatter or whatever. And I said, you guys, she was trying to give me a compliment. I need you guys to shut up so that I can hear the actual compliment part.
Seth needs his compliment.
And I got it. And it was good. It was really good. She
Nice.
was like, after the first class, I went home and she's a non-traditional student. She has children, like older children, out of the house children, like that style, non-traditional.
Older lady.
I'm not supposed to say it. Something about
'Cause
ASU.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a
Political thing.
I don't know, but
Non-traditional.
non-traditional student.
I said
And
nothing.
so, yeah, exactly. I was hoping you would. And so she says this, and she's just like, I went home the first time, and I was like, that guy is so arrogant. I'm gonna take his, and I offer a D for a paper. In exchange for a paper, you can write a paper and get a D in my class. Easy. If that's all you want.
Yeah.
And I gave that opportunity because they're all non-traditional. I have not all, but a lot of non-traditional students, and I know that they're busy, and so I just wanted to give an option.
Just an opt-out, basically.
Like, yeah,
Like, I'll write a paper so
I'll
I
get
don't
my
have
credit.
to, yeah.
and leave. And the one person I always thought did it, I think he failed my class 3 times.
Really?
And I was like, why don't you just do this? Like, you could do it this weekend, be
And never
done,
have to come.
and never think of it again. And if I actually read the paper, if I ever read the paper, I could give you feedback and you could fix it by the end of the year.
Yeah.
But I didn't say it had to be a good paper.
Yeah.
I said it had to be it's like, read this book, write a 10-page paper.
Done.
I didn't give you restrictions. So that was kind of like, I didn't understand, like, just take the option. And you can take the option throughout the semester. It's not like you have to, I mean,
Like halfway through, you can be like, I'm done.
yeah, I don't want to do this. But I get less arrogant, apparently. So it's awesome.
Nice.
It was great to hear. Great to hear some compliments. So
Well, hey, we're going to have
close it
to
up?
wrap it up.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Force Focused episode 2 for this set that I forgot the name of.
yep.
Let me look at it real quick so I can finish that.
We don't cut things out of this podcast, but I feel like that might have been a thing that you can cut out. That
I
embarrassment.
try not to have to edit anything.
was
I don't
so-
know. The name is not comprehensive, and I don't know the names of these ships. The New Republic E-Wing versus Shin Hati Starfighter.
There you go.
Set 75364.
There's more.
Episode 2. Yeah, there's more.
3
We may,
episodes.
yeah, this is 3 episodes. There's a chance that some of these sets are a little bit too big and complicated that we just
Perfect.
finish them off camera.
No finishing off camera. Sound like a porn director. No finishing off camera.
Bricks and Business Force Focus episode 2 in the bag. We will be posting new ones soon. This will go up. I don't know, are we doing weekly now or bi-weekly? I guess we'll kind of see.
Yeah, just
My editing process is faster, but it takes time to set all this up and record. But
Yes.
Follow, like, subscribe,
And save. Oh, no, not Amazon.
and save. No, and give us your money to do things for you. We are business owners. Hire him for a website. Hire me for video content and social media stuff. So we can keep doing cool stuff like this.
Yes, thank you.
And if we have a sponsor who wants to give us Lego sets, we'd be happy to take your money. Good night.